Hey, welcome to the classroom. Today's subject is weather. Fishermen use weather as an excuse for not catching fish more than all the other excuses combined. We're going to shed some light on how weather conditions affect our fishing and fish activity. When we talk about weather, most fishermen think of temperature. We should look at temperature in terms that it can make it comfortable or uncomfortable for us on the water. A fish is cold-blooded. The fish's temperature is the same as the water, so a fish is comfortable at any temperature. Temperature will slow down or speed up his body functions. In cold water, his digestion of food is slow, his growth is slow, and his activity periods are slow. In warmer temperature, he grows faster, moves better, eats more, and fights more. But remember, at any temperature, he is still comfortable. We should think of weather in terms of light. The lighter or brighter it is, the tougher fishing will be. The darker the conditions, the better it will be. There are several different types of weather conditions. We need to start with a guideline, and that will be the cold front. Buck Perry was the first one to talk about how a cold front affects fish movements over 50 years ago. Now today, most all fishermen know that a cold front will slow fishing down. Let's take a look at a cold front. This is how a cold front looks on a weather map. A cold front is the dividing line between two air masses, one that is warmer, holding higher moisture content, and the other is drier, cooler mass of air. It doesn't necessarily mean a drop in temperature, but the more of a difference in temperature between the two air masses, the more storms and precipitation that will come. When viewing a cold front, we don't look at it in terms of temperature, but in terms of light conditions. The prefrontal conditions are normally darker conditions with cloud cover and higher humidity levels. Postfrontal conditions have drier air that moves in, and brighter washed out skies will usually follow. Prefrontal conditions will give good fish movements, and postfrontal conditions will give bad or very little fish movements. Let's take a look and see how it is day one after a cold front. The sky is clear and is a bit windy following the front. The school of fish retreat to their cold front sanctuary below the 38-foot drop-off. Some of the smaller fish will go to the 26-foot break line. On day two after the front, some snowball clouds will appear. A decrease in wind will also. The smaller fish may move to the 20-foot rock pile, and a couple of larger fish may move to the 26-foot break line for a very short period of time before returning back to the main school below the 38-foot drop-off. On day three, there will be an increase in temperature. Some high cirrus clouds begin to form. The smaller fish may move to the 12-foot break line for a short period of time, and the school of big fish will move back to their normal sanctuary depth between the 38-foot drop-off and the 26-foot break line. And a few of the fish will move to the 26-foot break line for a short period of time. On day four, another slight increase in temperature. We have some high cirrus clouds and haze forming. The smaller fish move to the 7-foot weed line, but the school of fish move to the 26-foot break line, and some moving to the 20-foot rock pile, and maybe one or two briefly moving to the 12-foot break line. The movement period may last for 30 minutes before the school returns to the deep water sanctuary. On day five, no morning change in the weather, and the fish move as the previous day. By early afternoon, another layer of clouds move in, and it becomes noticeably muggy. The fish move again in the afternoon, with the whole school of fish moving to the 20-foot rock pile, and a few moving as far as the 12-foot break line. With the added cloud cover and humidity building, light conditions are better, and the afternoon movement may last for 45 minutes before they move back to the deep water sanctuary. On day six, heavy cloud cover with rain approaching. The school of fish move to the 12-foot break line, and a few big fish are found on the 7-foot weed line. Good action occurs most of the day, with a noticeable fish activity in the mid-morning and early afternoon. On day seven, it's a bright, clear day. The front moved through last night. The school of fish retreat to their deep water sanctuary with little or no movements. Cold front and light conditions affect all species of fish, both freshwater and saltwater. Some fish species are affected more than others. Smaller fish don't seem to be as affected as much as the larger fish. Some species that are least affected and begin to show signs of movement or activity first would be northerns, walleyes, and then muskies. The next group would be white bass, smallmouth bass, and last is largemouth bass. Before there is any great movement of fish of the school, you'll see smaller fish getting active and moving first. So pay attention to the weather conditions before your next fishing trip. You may decide to fish a lake further south or stay ahead of an approaching cold front, or maybe target a different species. Or better yet, you may decide you want to call in sick that day and get out fishing. For more information on this classroom subject, as well as any others, check out structurefishing.com/education.